Namaskar, Abhishek, once again with a new episode in the series Unlocking Stars with Abhishek. Unlocking Stars with Abhishek is a series on Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra is most authentic and most fundamental scriptures, one of the most fundamental scriptures of Vedic astrology. In the last episode, Maharshi, under the Adhyay, Bhaves Phaladhyaya, he just took the first lord and placed the first lord in first house, then second house, and so on, so forth, up to 12th house. And he provided classical Parashari techniques related to the first lord in different houses. This is a quite long chapter because Maharshi is revealing classical techniques related to all the 12th lord. So today, in this episode, we will go along Maharshi Parashar and his student Matre and listen the discourse. Listen the discourse. What Maharshi is going to reveal, what Maharshi is going to talk about. If the second lord, Dhanesh, lord of wealth, second lord is in different houses. Maharshi revealed 12 classical Parashari techniques related to each houses. So 12 verses for 12 houses when Dhanesh, second lord, is in different houses. We will follow the footprints of Maharshi before going to immerse into the Mahaguru Mahavakya related to the second house in different houses. We go and bow down to the Jagat Guru, Lord of the Lord, Adi Guru, Sri Mahadev. Let's come along. Let's come together. Let's pray together. Om Namami Devam Param Deyayam Tam Umapatim Lok Gurum Namami Namami Dari Dravidaranam Tam Namami Roga Paharam Namami Namami Kalyanam Achintarupam Namami Visvodha Bhavabijarupam Namami Visvistitikaranam Tam Namami Sangharkaram Namami. Jai Gurudev, Har Har Mahadev. After praying our humble tribute in the lotus feet of Adi Guru, Sri Mahadev, we are now ready. We are now ready to enter into the Mahaguru Parashar Mahavakya. So from the verse number 13, he will talk about the Dhanesh Phal, second Lord Phal in different houses. So he dedicates 12 verses. So it's under the Bhaves Phaladhyaya, the same chapter number 25. Let's come. Dhanesh Phala. Now Dhanesh, second Lord, is in the first house. Dhanesh is in the Lagna. Then what Maharshi is going to reveal? धने से लग्न गे जातः पुत्रवान धन संयुतः कुटुंब कंटकः कामी निष्ठुरः परकार्यकृतः. Second Lord is in the first house. So he's saying dhane se lagna ge jata. Then what attribute you can see? What are the possibility? What are the aesthetic promises you can think about? The first one is putravan. There is a possibility of having son. Dhan yukt. There is a possibility of having wealth because it's a dhanes. Dhanes is in the lagna. But there is a possibility of kutumb kantakaha. So he might be having different opinion. He might be virodhi. He might oppose his near and dear family members. There is a possibility of having this sort of characteristics in the native. And the kami, full of kamana, full of desire, full of lust. And nisthuraha, he might be, he's a nisthur, not having not having very good qualities to help others, very hard-hearted. Parakare krita. So this is a parakare krita. So he is doer of the other's work. So these sort of characteristics, everything is coming in the bundle, good and bad. So attributes are also coming like that. And at the time of the application of this classical principle, the predictive and intelligence of the seeker, of the person, having very important. It has a lot of importance. The blessings of Gurudev. So this is the Lagna Lord. This is the Dhanesh. This is the wealth Lord. Wealth Lord is in first house. Sometimes, if it's if it is very weak in the Lagna, Dhanesh is very weak in the Lagna. Weak in the sense it has malefic aspects, malefic influence, afflicted by malefics. Then this Dhanesh might increase the expenditure, bad expenditures. There might be a possibility. Although other acharyas also celebrated this. This is a good combination if Dhanesh is coming in the first house. Along with this Kutumb Kantaka Kami Nishchur Parakarakita from Maharshi Parashara. Now Maharshi Parashara is taking second Lord in the second house. The Lord is itself in his own house. Dhanesh is in the Dhanabhav. Now come along in the verse number 14. धने से धन गे जातो धनवान गर्भ संयुतः द्विभार्योर बहुभार्योर वा सुतहीनः प्रजाय. Now Dhanesh is in the Dhanbhav. So Dhanesh is in the Dhanbhav, then he will be rich. There is a possibility of being native, a rich man, rich person. And Garva Sanyutaha, glorious. He is very rich and having his glorious status, social status. Dui bharyor bahu bhari. There is a possibility of having two wives or many wives. But the negative side of that one, Maharshi is indicating. Suthina prajayate. There is a possibility of having no son. So suthina prajayate. Lack of offspring. So this is the disposition. Dhanesh is in the Dhanbhav, and this axis 2 and 8 axis, Dhanesh is sitting there. So it's a very good axis for any native to enter into a scientific subjects. This axis. This is the house of immediate family also. So if there is malefic influence on the Dhanesh over there, either by association or by aspect, then there might be problem in married life, in near immediate family life. Immediate family life means including Kutumbhav, including father, mother, and wife, spouse. There might be a possibility. It's a good placement as far as wealth is concerned, if not afflicted. So this is all about Dhanesh. The second lord is in the second house itself. Now Mahasi is taking second lord in third house. So let us come with Mahaguru, Maharshi Parashara, and take the second lord in the third house in verse number 15. धने से सहजे जातो विक्रमी मति मान गुनी कामी लोभी सुबाढ़े च पापाढ्यो देव निंदकः. Dhanesh is in Sahaj Bhav. Sahaj Bhav is the third house, because significations of third, one of the signification of third house is Sahaj also, Sahodar also, sibling also. Dhanese Sahaje Jato. So what that placement will make native? Bikrami, so he's a courageous. Mati Man, he's a buddhiman, he's a wise. And Guni, he is having a lot of merits. So these are the attributes. And next Maharshi is adding Kami Lobhi Subhade cha Papadyo Deva Nindakaha. So there is a possibility of native is being Kami also, having full of mind, is full of desire, full of lust. And Lobhi, greedy also. So Kami, Lobhi, Subhada cha Papadyo Deva Nindakaha. If there is a malefic affliction, then there is a possibility of native become Deva Ninda, Nastic, non-believer in God. That might be a possibility. If there is a negative, if there is a malefic aspect over there on the third one. This house is all about the artistic inclination, artistic attributes of the native also. So if Dhanesh is sitting over there, then there might be a possibility of earning wealth through art, through music, through drama, this sort of thing. This we can have in our mind, because whenever one lord is coming to one particular house, then the signification of the house and signification of the lord is superimposed. And then that superimposition, the result of the outcome of that superimposition is giving you the reflection. And through that, you can visualize the characteristics, possible characteristics of the native. Now, Mahasi is taking second lord in the fourth house in the verse 16. Let's come. धने से सुख भावस्ते सर्व संपत समन्वितः गुरुना संयुते स्वउच्चे राजतुल्यो नरो भवे. Now Dhanesh, the second lord, is in the Sukha Bhav. Sukha Bhav is the fourth house. If Dhanesh is in the fourth house, then there is a possibility of native to gain Sarva Sampat Samanvita. So all type of luxuries, all type of sukh. And then he is adding Guruna Sanyute Swauche. If that is associated with the Guru, with the Jupiter in fourth house, or Swauche, or in the sign of exaltation in the fourth house, then the native is like a king. He is a king, or at the level of the king, his comfort, as far as his comfort is concerned. So what a great auspicious placement. That's a great placement. If the second lord is in the fourth, and there is a association, with the Gurudev, Jupiter, or it is in the sign of exaltation, that's a very great combination. That's a very great combination. Second lord, Dhanesh, is in the fourth house. So there is a possibility of gaining wealth from inheritance also. Some acharyas are claiming like that. The second lord is in the fourth. And we should always remember, if the malefic aspect is there, it depends upon the intensity of the malefic affliction. In the same proportionate, that affliction will destroy the wealth. So it's a very very dynamic consideration, and it always depends upon this kal and path. All the significations of the fourth house will be enriched, enhanced with the positive disposition of the second lord in the fourth house. No doubt about it. That's why Maharshi is saying, Raja Tulyo Naro Bhavet. That Nar, that native, is just like a king. Now Maharshi is taking that Dhanesh, second lord, in the fifth house, Sut Bhave, house of child. Let's come with Maharshi. धने से सुत भावस्ते जातो धन समन्विता. धने से सुत भावस्ते जातो धन समन्विता. धनोपार्जनशीलाश्च जायन्ते तत्सुतापि. So now Dhanesh is in the Sut Bhav. Dhanesh, the second lord, is in the fifth house. Second lord is in the fifth house. So it's a Dhana Samanvita. It's a Dhana Yoga. Dhanesh is in the Trikona. So obviously it's a Dhana Yoga, very good Dhana Yoga. So he will be rich. And he is not only rich, even his son is also earner of the wealth. Even his son is also earner of the wealth. Dhan uparjan silasa jayante tat suta. So his sut, his son, is also having quality of earning the wealth. The second generation. Second generation is also wealth creator. He is the wealth creator due to this Dhani Yoga. And the second generation is also this is the lineage thing. This is just going forward. This is a very good Dhani Yoga. Yeah. If you think about little more, I'm just going little sharing things more. So there is a possibility of gaining wealth for this native with this Dhanesh is in the 5th house through the speculation business, like lottery, like stocks, those things also. And it's a Dharm Trikon, one of the Dharm Trikon also. So there is a possibility of getting wealth from religious institution, religious act also, like foundation, spiritual religious foundation, or math or mandir, boards, sort of thing. Now Maharshi is taking second lord Dhanesh to the next house, 6th house, Trik house, 6th house. Now Dhanesh is coming to visit 6th house. In the verse number 18, धने से रिपु भावस्ते सशुभे शत्रु तो धनम सपापे शत्रु तो हानिर्जंघा वै कल्यावान भवे. धने से रिपु भावस्ते, रिपु भाव 6th house. So now Dhanesh is in the 6th house. Sa subhe satruto dhanam. So that very very good disposition if sa subhe satruto dhanam. So if there is a benefic aspect, then there is a possibility of gaining wealth from his enemy also. This is a house of the enemy. Dhanesh is here. Dhanesh will take money. Money from where? From the significations of the house. Enemy is one of the significations. Dhanesh is in the good mood because benefic aspects is there. So Dhanesh will extract money, get money from his enemy itself. So he will get dhanalav from enemy. But vice versa. Sa pape satruto hanir. So if there is a malefic aspect, malefic affliction, then he will lose money to the enemy. If benefic aspect, then he will gain money from the enemy. If malefic aspect, then he will lose money from his enemy. He is just adding one medical thing also. He is Mahasi. His thigh, Jangha Vaikalyavana. So his thigh, he got a very weak thigh. So he is referring like that if Dhanesh is there. This is the revelation of Mahaguru Maharshi. These are the Parashara classical principles. If you want, you can test this one on one chart, two chart, 1000 chart, and then you can consider. These are just like axioms. If you want to check the proof, go and apply and come back. And you will find these are the eternal truth revealed by Maharshi. So this is all about the Maharshi is in the Maharshi took second lord is in the 6th house. So he has a possibility of gaining wealth from enemy if the good disposition is saying. How he will get money from enemy? So these are the things. So these are some professions. Gain from the enemy, there are some professions. Either it is litigation sort of thing, or it is a policing, or it is the fighting battle, or it is a medical. A lot of professions related to the 6th house significations that significations, those areas enable native to gain money from enemy itself. So these are the enemy, means here opponent. You can think of like that also. Our scriptures categorizes enemies in the classifications. So these are the things. He can get money from the black marketing also, from cheating also, from bad deeds also. Dhanesh is there. So these are the revelation of Mahaguru Maharshi Parashara. Now, Mahaguru, the great Guru, is taking second Lord of the wealth, to the next house, seventh house, Jaya Bhav. So now in seventh house, Dhanesh is there. Then what can be happen? Now the classical Parashari principle Maharshi is revealing in verse number 19. धने से सप्तमे जातः परदारतो भीषक पापेक्षितयुते तस्य भार्यार च व्यभिचारिणी. धने से सप्तमे जातः. Now position of the Dhanesh is fixed. The Dhanesh is in the seventh. Paradarato Bhisakha. So he has a tendency, possibility of this tendency. There are signs of probability, and we are talking about the static promises. So many other things are also to be considered at the same time to do the Falades. So there is a possibility of the tendency of this native to go along with the other's wife, other women. So that is the possibility. And Bhishaka also. Bhishak means Vaidya, means doctor. There is a possibility of native can be a doctor. Paradarato Bhishaka. So Paradarato, possibility of going with other women, other's wife, and the Bhishaka. So being a doctor, can be a doctor. Now pape chite yute tasya bharya cha vyabhicharani. If there is a malefic affliction, malefic aspect, if the Lagnesh is with malefic, then with malefics means affliction or conjunct with malefics, then there is a possibility of that native's spouse might be having not a good character. She or he can go with others spouse. So that is also possibility. So that is the revelation of the Mahasi. Some acharyas experienced, realized, in this case, if Dhanesh is sitting there in the seventh, that there might be possibility of earning from the foreign sources. This house is also about the foreign travel, foreign, distant. So this is the possibility, and this house is also about the partners and spouse and other contracts. So earning from those partners, that can be also a possibility. Apart from Maharshi is saying, what Maharshi is saying, we are here to witness the great discourse. But I'm just adding if something is coming in my mind from some other acharyas. Now Maharshi is going next house, earth house, Ashtam Bhav. And in 8th house, he is taking second lord. Then what can be happen? What can be happen? Maharshi is revealing here in the verse number 20. He dedicates one verse. धने से अष्टमगे जातौ भूरि भूमि धनयुक्तः पत्नी सुखम भवेत् स्वल्पम ज्येष्ठ भ्रातृ सुखम नहीं. Now Dhanesh is in the Ashtam Bhav. So second Lord is in the Ashtam Bhav. Then what will happen if Dhanesh is in the Ashtam Bhav? Jatav, the Jatak native, might have Bhuri Bhumi Dhanairita. So he got a Bhumi, land, Dhan, wealth. So he have everything like a land and the wealth, all sort of wealth. But that's a very good disposition because second 12 axis, that one. This is the axis. But Patni Sukham Bhavet Swalapam. But the comfort from wife, that is very little, less. It's not good. And the sukh from just the bhratra sukh nahi. The elder brother's comfort from elder brother is 0. So this is the Parashari. This is the Parashari revelation. This is the classical technique, classical revelation provided by Mahaguru. This is the house of inheritance also. So there is a possibility of gaining from inheritance and also losing from the inheritance. This is the house of suddenness also. So gaining wealth suddenly and losing wealth suddenly also. And the negative outcome is coming. It's all about the affliction, and how much it will come, it depends upon the intensity of the affliction. That's why it is saying time and again, like this is depend upon the predictive intelligence of the person who is doing Falades at that time, and how he is considering this Kalpath. That's very important. Now Maharshi is taking the second lord in the 9th house. 9th house, Dharmasthan. 9th house, Bhagyasthan. So now second lord in 9th, in verse number 21. The revelation is coming. Blessings is coming. All Parashari techniques, classical techniques, are blessings only for seeker of this divine science in this era. धने से धर्म भावस्थे धनवान उद्यमी पटुः बाल्ये रोगी सुखी पश्चात् तीर्थ धर्म व्रताधिकृता. So 9th house is the strongest dharma trikon. Now the Dhanesh is sitting over there. That's a Dhanyog also. Very strong Dhanyog. So there is a possibility is coming. Dhanvan, rich, Uddami, industrious, Patu, very good command over communication skills. It's a 3-9 axis. And Bale Rogi, so there is a possibility native might be sick in the childhood, might be sick. But after that, as he grows, then he will become like a more comfortable, more happy as he grows. And he has a tendency to visit pilgrimage, doing Brihat and doing religious, following the religious system, religious discipline, fasting, Brihat, and visiting auspicious spiritual places. So these are the revelation by the Mahaguru Maharshi Parashara. And this is house of father also, guru also. So there might be possibility of gaining wealth from father, from guru, from father figure. So this is the revelation under this verse. When second Lord is in the ninth house. Now Maharishi is taking second Lord in the 10th house, Karma Bhav. Second Lord is coming in the Karma Bhav. What Maharishi is saying, what Maharishi is revealing in the verse number 22. Let's come and immerse in it first. Then feel what Maharishi is saying. धने से कर्म गे जातः कामी मानी पंडितः बहुदारा धनैर्युक्तः किंच पुत्र सुखोर्जितः. धने से कर्म गे. So Dhanesh in the house of karma, in 10th house. Second Lord is in the 10th. Jatak, the native, is Kami Mani Pandita. Kami. His mind is full of kamana, full of desire, full of lust. And Mani, he's a pratisthit, he's having social status, having pride. Pandita might be a possibility of wise scholar, intellectual person. Bahudar dhanayutaha. Bahudar means having a lot of women in his life, a lot of wife. Dhaniktaha, so rich man, obviously a rich man. But the problem is kincha, lekin, but problem. Putra sukhon jita. So there is a possibility of not having putra, not having son, not having offspring. Mahasi is always referring offspring as a putra, because in that society, at that when he revealed this scripture 2,500 years ago, so he is referring putra means offspring. When you correct with the Deskal Patra. That is my belief. So this is second Lord in 10th house. So that is a good. That is a good, very good. And if any very good is coming with some negative also, so there is a possibility of not having offspring. There is a possibility of earning wealth from the activities like a commerce, like a trade, like a service, and religious means also he can adopt and he can gain wealth from there also. So this is 10th house, second Lord in the 10th house. Now Maharshi is taking second Lord in the 11th house, Ichhapurti Bhav, Upchay Bhav, Ekadas Bhav, 11th house, Ay Bhav, Labh Bhav. So now Dhanesh is coming in the Labh Bhav. And Maharshi is revealing, Maharshi is blessing one classical technique through the verse number 23. धने से लाभ भावस्ते सर्व लाभ समन्वितः सदो उद्योग युतो मानी कीर्तिमान जायते नरः. धने से लाभ भावस्ते, so Dhanesh is in the 11th. So सर्व लाभ समन्वितः, he will gain from everywhere, from all sides. It's a very excellent combination because Dhanesh is in the Lavasthan. That is the very good placement for the Dhanesh because Dhanesh wants that house. Can be his second house. So Dhanesh is in the Lav Bhav, second Lord is in the 11th. Then there is a possibility of gaining wealth from everywhere. and the tendency of the native to be always industrious, sada udyogi, always doing something, always. And the mani, pride, prideful. Kirti man jayate nara, and isasvi, his name and fame is spreading. There is a possibility of spreading his name and fame. So this is the 11th law. He's in a Dhanesh is in the 11th house. So basically, he has possibility of gaining money from the money, like from the trade, like from the banking, like from the other significations, like from elder brother also, because 11th house Ekadas Bhav is for elder brother also. So these are the possibilities. When second lord is visiting, second lord is posited in the 11th. Now, in the last verse of this episode, when second lord is in the 12th house, second lord is in the 12th house, second lord is in the Vyaya Bhav, what Maharshi is revealing in verse number 24. Let's imagine it. धने से व्यय भाव से साहसी धन वर्जितः पर भाग्यारतस्य ज्येष्ठापत्या सुखम नहीं. धने से व्यय भाव से, so Dhanesh is sitting in the 12th house. So this native, there is a possibility of this native might be a courageous, very courageous man. But it is a Vyaya Sthan, and Dhanesh is there. Dhanesh will lose his all money, and he become dhanheen, lack of wealth. And when he become lack of wealth, then parabhagya, then he will be dependent upon others. There is a possibility. So all significations are connected. If you think like that, like houses significations and the Lord significations, you marry them, and then the reflection is coming, and then they are also connected. Although it is a revelation, it's a truth revealed by Maharshi to Maitre, what he learned directly from Brahma. But when you think on that line, then that will make more sense to you. And he's adding like Jesta Patya Sukham Nahi. So there is a possibility of his first offspring, his first son or daughter. Mahasi is always saying Putra, but both you can consider both throughout the Shastra. So there is a possibility of death of his first child. That is the revelation of Maharshi Parashara, Mahaguru Maharshi Parashara himself. And these are the very broad framework. So just reading out one verse and doing the Phalades, that will not make sense. A lot of things are integrated. So we are just going through baby steps, step and step. So you cannot say like that. You see the second lord in the 12th house and tell somebody your first child will die. That's not advisable. That's why Sri Mahadev healed all the Shastras. And still revelation is happening to the capable one only. Although there are so many commercial shops are open on the street who are claiming they are teaching. So these are the classical Parashari techniques, 12 techniques Maharshi put forwarded. Maharshi revealed to Maitre related to the second Lord is in the all 12 houses, starting from 1 to 12. I hope you understand this. And time and again, after every completion of on every episode, I'm telling you, it's an applied science. Hora is completely a science of application. You go and apply on the chart and then see what is happening, because it's a Pratyaksh Shastra. If you're getting the result, then rules are correct. And there is no other way to check the rules. So please go and apply it. In the end, I will pray for you and pray for everyone. Asuto ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityormamritam gamaya. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Jai Gurudev. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev.